This is Natasha and I'm going to be making some Chinese in my kitchen today. I have planned a small menu of noodles and a Manchurian chicken without the ketchup. And I've also planned a sticky oyster basil garlic chicken. So stay tuned. I'm going to be making two kinds of chicken today, guys. So I've taken two breast fillets for each chicken. This one is going to be a Manchurian chicken without the ketchup, as I mentioned earlier. I don't understand why people like putting a lot of ketchup in Chinese food. I mean, sure, why not? Sometimes, even I do, but it shouldn't be the base of your Chinese food, don't you think? I've taken about 300 grams of chicken boneless breast fillet pieces, and I'm going to chop them up and show you what I do with it. And I want you to see that the chicken should be cut up just like that. I'm going to pick up a piece and show you. Not bigger than that. And I've taken out the fat pieces. I really don't like using chicken fat in a boneless stir fry. I'm going to be mixing the chicken in 1 egg white and half a teaspoon each of white pepper and salt and 2 teaspoons of corn flour. Mix that really well. Add 2 teaspoons of water to loosen the consistency and make sure there are no lumps. Coat it really well and set it aside. I'm going to be cutting and showing you how to prepare the other chicken. And I've taken 300 grams of chicken again. I am going to be cutting this in a different way. The other one was boneless cubes and this is going to be boneless strips. I want you to see that I've taken one boneless fillet and I've sliced it lengthways into 3 pieces, and then I took 1 piece and then I cut it this way, and a strip of chicken should look like that. And for the oyster chicken, I've taken 300 grams of chicken strips and I've added 1 teaspoon of oil, 2 teaspoons of water, half a teaspoon each of sugar and salt and black pepper and chili flakes, and there's 1 teaspoon of corn flour. I'm going to mix that really well, and then I'm going to start cooking both the chickens. So here are the vegetables I've prepared to use in the chicken Manchurian. There's 1 sliced carrot, there's 1 diced onion. I've used half a red capsicum and half a green capsicum, also known as bell pepper, and that's diced. There's about 4 or 5 whole red chili balls, and there's 1 teaspoon of ginger and 1.5 teaspoon of garlic. So let's get started. Heat a little bit of oil in a pan or a wok like this and deep fry these cubed pieces of chicken. Make sure not to overcrowd at the wok. I feel like coating chicken with corn flour kind of keeps the juices in, yet it cooks it evenly. Every time I've used corn flour and then I've deep fried the chicken, it comes out softer from the inside and crispy on the outside. And I just want to show you what it looks like right now. And you shouldn't fry it more than that. Oops. Take it out of the oil. Fry it in 2 batches. The chicken is done and I have a little sauce prepared right here which I'll tell you about, but in the meantime I've taken a frying pan and I've added some oil to it. I'm going to start off by sauteing some onions, ginger and garlic. Saute this really well. And at this point add the whole red chili balls. Next up is the carrots. Add the green and red bell pepper. And then we'll pour in the sauce. In a bowl, add 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of sugar, a little bit of black pepper, some red chili flakes, and there's 1 teaspoon of vinegar. Add that to the stir-fried mix. So I felt that it needed a little more oyster sauce. So there's 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. Stir fry this really well, and then we are ready to add the chicken. It's smelling really good, guys. And this is absolutely ready. I'm going to garnish this with coriander, some basil leaves, and some spring onions. Don't overcook this too much, guys. Remember that the more you cook it, the more color it loses. Also, I wanted to tell you that I use Kikkoman dark soy sauce. So if you're using another variety, you might have to add a little more soy sauce to your mixture. But all in all, it's turned out great, and I hope you make it. So I'm ready to make the next chicken dish, which is a basil chicken garlic with mushrooms, some lemon, and I'm going to serve this with sticky noodles. So let's get started. I'm going to saute these mushrooms before I add in anything, because I feel like if you add mushrooms to garlic or ginger, it kind of sucks up all the taste of the garlic and ginger. It's very selfish that way. We're going to start by sauteing 6 to 8 mushrooms, fresh mushrooms that I got from the market yesterday. Very excited about using these. I don't particularly like using button mushrooms, but when we don't have a choice, we use that. Saute this really well, guys, and then we'll remove it from this wok and set aside. The mushrooms are sauteed and ready, and in the same wok I've added a little bit more oil, and I'm going to stir fry the chicken that I had marinated earlier. Spread it all out evenly. And while that stir fries on high heat, I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of garlic and 2 sliced bird-eye chilies. Add the mushrooms back into the chicken. Mix it well. It's really smelling good. I just feel you don't need any ginger in this. It's very garlicky. It's going to be a sticky chicken stir fry. Just don't overcook it, guys. I seasoned this with black pepper, and I prepared a little sauce here that I'm going to add to the chicken. There's 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. There's about 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, and what I've done is I've added a chicken stock cube in it. There's 1 teaspoon of corn flour. There's 3 to 4 teaspoons of cold water. And there's a few drops of sesame oil. I'm going to mix this really well, and I'm going to pour it into the chicken. Well, I suppose I didn't mix that too well, did I? Well, anyways, it's going to dissolve in the chicken. I added 1 teaspoon of sugar and half a cup of cold water. I'm going to let this boil. So the sugar in this is going to make it sticky, and now I'm going to add some spring onions, some coriander, some basil, and a little bit of green chilies. And this is ready. How easy was this, guys? Do you think you're going to make it? So the last thing I'm making today are the sticky noodles. So I boiled these noodles and kept them aside. I'm dry roasting about 4 to 5 thinly sliced garlic and a tablespoon of sesame seeds. Once that's dry roasted evenly, I'm going to add a little bit of regular oil and a few drops of sesame oil. Mix that really well, and then I'll show you the next step. I've added the oil, and then I added half a teaspoon of red chili flakes and 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. Mix it really well. Add a splash of water. And a sprinkle of sugar. Add the noodles. Mix that really well. Add the spring onions, coriander, basil leaves, and lots of basil leaves. And if you like, some bird's eye chili or green chili, whatever you have lying around. But I've already added chili flakes, so you don't need to do that. Well, I don't need to do that. The garlic is smelling so good. At this point, you might want to add a squeeze of lemon or any kind of vinegar you have at home. Sticky garlicky Thai noodles are ready, and it's going to be eaten with this very garlicky basil chicken and my version of a Manchurian chicken where I haven't used any ketchup. So I hope you guys like what I've made today, and I hope you make it too. So here's the moment of truth. I'm going to try the 2 chickens I've made. It's good. If I say it's good myself, you're going to think that I made it up, but it's really good. I really like the noodles. Very garlicky and sticky. I hope you make it, guys. And if you like this video, I would appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, Ifnatcancook.